they ask, what has happened to the atropine trial, which is going in phase 3 at the moment in USA? When will it be available to our kids? To be honest, I knew that there was atropine trial, but I was not updated up to that level. So it was a really embarrassing situation. Luckily, Professor Vajira Dissanayake was next to me and he answered the question, and I said, I am very busy and I have to escape from that social gathering. So this is what is going to happen if you don't get updated and ready with the communication skills. Therefore, technology is used and the options are very high. So therefore, not only the communication skill, we have to learn to get all this information and to correctly convey them back to them. And that's the best way of learning as well. It is real good HRD or CPD programs for you to have, because if you keep answering the questions of the patient, of course you will not be able to do away from your CPD programs. Third thing is, health financing is a real crisis. So I am not going to elaborate, but the communication, training in communication skills have a definite impact on the cost effectiveness of a health system from all angles. That will improve the satisfaction of the patient, satisfaction of the doctor. There are signs to sell. I will show you those slides during my introductory lecture at the workshop today. But just to sum up that, the health financing is everybody, even UK, they are trying to go for Obamacare, is basically because of they are looking for quality improvement and a cost-effective model. So Sri Lanka, we have to be very proud that we have the world, one of the best cost-effective health sector models in the country. While appreciating that there is a scope for improvement, we have to be proud, but we have to safeguard that, but incorporating whatever necessary inputs like communication skills. Then the other trend is people are looking forward for quality improvement, and that quality improvement is being audited from various angles. That is the patient safety and patient satisfaction and so on and so forth. So all these angles are really integrated through these communication skills. So I agree, sir, that not only the doctors, it has to get expanded to the other healthcare workers in order to get the best benefit as a team of doctors. So therefore, for us to sustain ourselves, not only locally also in the government sector as well as in the private sector. So you are talking about the numbers. Now, when I became the GMO secretary, we had only 4,000 doctors. Today we have 20,000 doctors. I want to put this challenge to you and to ask whether we have increased our communication time to patient by 5-fold or not. Is an issue. So therefore, we can't always give an excuse. We have to think about quality improvement, and even within that time period of 5 minutes, how efficiently, effectively you can deliver a message to the patient by active listening and going to the patient's frame of mind is what is going to be trained today to you under this program. So therefore, the sustainability locally, not only locally today, we are fighting against ICTA or the Hindu-Lanka agreement. So obviously we have to stand in the challenges by facing the challenges in the region. So therefore, our infighting has to stop and we have to get together, stand together. Not only even the nurses union is now have tied up with us, and we are given a unconditional support by the nurses union to fight against all these battles, which are common battles for all of us. So therefore, in the region and not only region, we had the international activity and we have to safeguard that. Now, finally, why GMO got involved in this? People talk about vision or innovations. The simple reason is this is the best form to look after your welfare. I am proud to say, when I took over GMO as the GMO president, the youngest president, I could, during last 3-4 years, we could increase doctor salaries by 3 or 4 folds, thanks to you all and the Salaries Card and Commission. And basically by establishing a national wage policy, it was not addressing the salary only looking after the doctors, but we have gone for a salary policy which is looking after the salaries of all the public officers in the country, and ultimately the private sectors are not joined to the Salaries and Card Commission. So basically, entire human resource of the country is being from a very policy angle with a declared process, and a declared authority is established based on our proposals and our whatever the vision. We are not experts in salary structuring, but we did it with the whatever the common sense and putting our IQ into place, and ultimately we could achieve by using our EQ. Today, you can't only sustain yourself with IQ, you have to use your EQ for your sustainability. So therefore, after increase in salary, it is economical kind of encouragement to you to retain in the public sector and to do a quality service. But you can't only do it with only by financial assistance. It has to be coupled up with skills and capacity building into you. So this is the best form to look after your welfare locally, regionally and internationally. That is why GMO has taken communication skills as a priority in the GMOA. Too, that is one of the best form to look after your welfare. By even the World Bank says, give the skill, they will generate revenue. So this is indirect way of generating revenue. So you should have the intelligence to understand that this is an indirect benefit to you, ultimately giving direct results. So therefore, as usual with the service, our credibility shown in the service and cadre policy development, here also we did it in the scientific way. As pointed out at the evolution, first of all, so we trained 53 doctors as master trainers by going through 4 levels. And we really acknowledge the contribution made by Dr. Juan Fernandez. He is a consultant community physician with a subspecialty in special interest in the communication skills. With his support and with the support of Dr. Anoma and all other people who were trained on communication skills, ultimately we could look after the development of capacity building into the human resource. Secondly, we wanted resources. We have established the resources and then we wanted to have authority. That is why we have formed this National Council for Communication Skills, which was officially established, and now it is time for us to proceed with activities through that. But we should not forget the fact, the last point is, now we are looking forward for accreditation. Therefore, currently the Ministry of Health accreditation is already given, but that is possibly because of the political reason, because we are so-called powerful. But now it is time for us to scientifically get the accreditation for communication skills training for Sri Lanka, for not only doctors, even for other categories, and for the entire country. And for beyond our country. So that is how we are proceeding, sir. And I think this will not only benefit the patient, this will benefit the doctors and the system. And I think all your opinions and your contributions are much valued. This is not a single-handed issue. This is had to be done as collaborations with the Ministry of Health. All your wisdom had to be imparted into this kind of activities, good activities. And I really appreciate our Director General always commit himself for this kind of activities, whatever his busy schedules. I think he can't manage today. Today is a very busy day, but despite that he can't. He just promised to come and he has come here. And I request to do this program as quick as possible at the innovation program, because I promised him that I will begin as soon as possible. So thank you very much for giving this opportunity, and I